this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Why should you listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand?
We're not boring. A lot of news is boring.
And tedious.
And depressing.
And makes you angry. You don't want to live your life like that.
Hey, I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
We're Armstrong and Getty.
We try to bring you the truth.
And help you figure out this crazy modern world.
How about something about a comedic tone?
We have a winner.
Yes. Listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand on the iHeartRadio app,
Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
People saw him before the debate, and he was fine. I wouldn't say it was Winston Churchill, but he was fine. He was all right.
He went to a Waffle House that night.
Yeah. I mean, so she said he had a stroke, but why would she bring him to a Waffle House if he had a stroke?
Would your wife have allowed you to go off to a Waffle House if she thought you were having a stroke?
Even in good times, she would. Although I would, actually. It's not so bad.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Thursday morning. Nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update, and we've got two major stories for you this morning. First up, federal agents arrest a major tech boss charged with illegally supplying Iran. This coming out of California. So how did he get away with the scheme for so long? And was it as simple as Democrats just looked the other way? We have the details. Also, Democrats are now seeking to undo a Trump tough strategy on green card policy. This could close a loophole that hundreds of thousands are using. So why are the Democrats doing this right now, putting illegals ahead of Americans? We'll have those details as well. Now, before we get to that, I also want to take a moment and talk to you about the work that is being done by Compassion International and the incredible impact that so many of you are already having.
Love, generosity, and compassion. We say those words all the time, and they sound good. They feel good. But here's the truth. Those words don't mean anything unless they turn into action. And right now, not later today, not tomorrow, there's a child in the world who doesn't know if they'll eat, if they'll have a chance to learn, or if there's any hope at all. And while we're all busy, life keeps moving forward, but that child is waiting. This is where you come in. With Compassion International, you have the chance to change a child's future. Not just with words, not with promises, but with real help that provides food, education, and hope through local churches and people already in their community. Put your words into action and join me. Introduce a child to a loving Heavenly Father today at compassion.com. That's compassion.com.
It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number one.
We're going to start with a very interesting story. Federal agents arresting a Newport Beach, California businessman. It was happening all during a pre-dawn raid at his, not home, but mansion on Wednesday. And they charged him with illegally supplying U.S. origin computer hardware directly to Tehran. And what was it being used for? In military and nuclear operations. That according to federal prosecutors. Jamshid Ghomi is a 63-year-old and a dual citizen of Iran and the United States. He was taken into custody during the FBI raid, the New York Post has also reported. Now, he's been charged with conspiracy to violate the International Emergency Economy Powers Act and is expected to make his initial appearance Wednesday afternoon in federal court in Santa Ana, California. Prosecutors are alleging that the man not only sold computer hardware to the Iranian government through a year-long scheme designed to evade U.S. sanctions, earning millions of dollars in the process. Ghomi is accused of aiding our declared enemies by selling U.S. origin computer networking parts to Iran and earning millions of dollars in violation of U.S. sanctioned laws. That's what the U.S. attorney said in his statement. We will hold him accountable by seeking an appropriate prison sentence and by seizing his assets, including his $35 million Newport Beach mansion. Now, dozens of federal agents in tactical gear gathered before dawn at a nearby parking lot before traveling in a convoy to the residence, located within an exclusive gated community. Agents surrounded the property and called for Ghomi to come outside. What's going on? One occupant of the home asked as agents escorted Ghomi's wife and two adult sons outside as well. Investigators carrying power tools and evidence boxes entered the residence while an interpreter arrived to interview Ghomi. After the interview, Ghomi emerged from the home and was taken into custody. Now, in addition to the sanctions-related charges, authorities said they are investigating Ghomi for possible money laundering, tax evasion, and other offenses. According to prosecutors, Ghomi generated more than $10 million annually through his computer business while reporting no more than $20,000 in income to the Internal Revenue Service. Federal investigators allege that for more than a decade, Ghomi used a Tehran-based computer networking company he founded to obtain U.S. networking equipment for customers in Iran in violation of the U.S. sanctions. Authorities say Ghomi arranged shipments of more than 250 tons of controlled U.S. technology and used his personal eBay and PayPal accounts to make hundreds of additional purchases of computer networking equipment that was ultimately shipped directly to Iran. Now, prosecutors also say he negotiated purchases directly with suppliers in Minnesota and Nebraska, routing equipment at a front company in the UAE before it was sent on to Iran. Authorities also allege he used freight forwarders and intermediaries in Dubai to conceal Iran as the final destination, knowing that he was breaking the law. According to the prosecutors, Ghomi and his co-conspirators referred to Iran as the motherland in internal communications related to the procurement of the equipment. The technology allegedly supplied by Ghomi was distributed to hundreds of Iranian companies and government entities, many of which were already subject to U.S. sanctions. Prosecutors said a portion of the equipment was supplied to organized, connected individuals in Iran's nuclear and military programs as well, and that may be the most shocking part of all. Ghomi's most prominent asset was his more than 14,000 square foot mansion. It was situated on a bluff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. The property featured iron gates, multiple chandeliers, and dual fountains at the entrance to impress, anyone that decided to come visit. The prosecutor said the arrests demonstrated the federal government's commitment to enforcing sanctions as the United States continues military operations against Iran. And there is a question that you should be asking. How did this guy get away with this for so long? Well, to be clear, the prior administration, the Biden administration, they didn't lift the sanctions on Iran. They just deliberately chose not to enforce the sanctions, allowing people like Ghomi to do exactly what he was doing. They literally looked the other way, hoping that appeasement with Iran would work. And that meant saying, oh, no, we have sanctions on Iran, but do they matter if you're not enforcing them? We now know, quote, that our nation's laws prohibit doing business with one of the world's largest state sponsors of terrorism, and it must be enforced and obeyed. Again, another example of the Trump administration actually abiding by the laws, while the radical left does everything they can to help these individuals continue to do business in the United States of America. It truly is amazing that this individual was not caught sooner. If it wasn't for the Trump administration, he'd probably still be doing business right now.
Next, story number 2.
Another big story that I think is really important that we also highlight right now is one that is connected very much to the story I mentioned about the individual from Iran. And that is Democrats now are seeking to undo Donald Trump's tough new policy on green card holders. Democrats on Capitol Hill say they're going to move to overturn the president's immigration policy changes. Now, Trump's second term, he said, I'm going to have a new rule that could require many green card applicants already living legally in the United States to leave the country and complete their applications from abroad. That according to a report by The Hill. And multiple national outlets have also confirmed the details. Now, the Democrats are losing their minds, saying the policy could affect hundreds of thousands of immigrants currently working, studying, and raising families in the United States of America. Now, for decades, many legal immigrants have been able to apply for permanent residency through a process known as adjustment of status, allowing them to remain in the U.S. while their green card applications were reviewed. But the Trump administration said this has become a massive loophole, and the new guidance dramatically changes that process. Under the policy, the applicants could now be required to return to their home countries and complete the process through a U.S. consulate unless they can demonstrate what the administration calls extraordinary circumstances. Now, the administration argues this isn't a new law, but rather a return to the original intent of immigration status. Homeland Security officials say the temporary visas were never intended to become an automatic pathway to permanent residency, and that the new rules will make the immigration system more orderly and also efficient. The administration has also indicated that expectations may be available for individuals who provide a significant economic benefit or serve the national interests. Well, Democrats, you know what they're going to do, stand up for those that aren't American citizens before they stand up for American citizens every single time they can do it. And that's exactly what they're doing now. They're calling this move by the Trump administration disruptive and harmful and hurtful. And they argue it could separate families, disrupt careers, create uncertainty for employers, and force legal immigrants into lengthy overseas processing backlogs that can stretch for months or even years. Again, making sure they put those from outside of America ahead of you. Now, immigration advocates are also warning that this will be a disaster. But again, look at the open border process and what we've actually had in this country. Now, the debate now centers on a larger question. What should legal immigration look like in America? Supporters of President Trump who voted for him said it was very clear. They wanted to shut down the borders, they wanted an orderly program, and they wanted to get illegal immigrants out of this country. They wanted to stop rewarding people who were coming into this country illegally with government benefits as well. And the Trump policy says the administration is simply enforcing the immigration laws that are already on the books and closing these loopholes that encourage temporary visitors to remain permanently. Now, Democrats say no. We are going to go back to what we had before that allowed for massive immigration into this country. Democrats are now pushing this as an election year issue. And they're also saying they're going to have legal challenges to block the policy as well. Now, the outcome could determine literally how hundreds of thousands of future green card applicants navigate the path to permanent residency in the United States of America. And once again, the Democratic Party making it clear, we stand for illegal immigrants and those from outside the United States of America before we stand up for Americans and what Americans want and or believe on the issue. And that's exactly why this is going to be a major election year issue.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, also subscribe to the Ben Ferguson Podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Why should you listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand?
We're not boring. A lot of news is boring.
And tedious.
And depressing.
And makes you angry. You don't want to live your life like that.
Hey, I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
We're Armstrong and Getty.
We try to bring you the truth.
And help you figure out this crazy modern world.
About something about a comedic tone.
We have a winner.
Yes. Listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand on the iHeartRadio app,
Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.